Alright, welcome back to another review. This time we're looking at the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro Wave Hypno-Hustler. I was going to pass on this guy, and then I guess he hypnoed me with his hustle ability, because here he is in my kitchen now, so. But as you see here, he is in all of his funky glory. A lot of white, a lot of pink, a little bit of blue in there, some cool accessories in there, and as you see, there's the artwork for him in there. I got some stuff up there, retro carded animated series inspired packaging, garbage in the bottom, and on the back you get more of that art, you get more of that IKEA kind of whatever, and on the back it says Small Time Hood Antone Del Soin. I probably butchered that. What is Small Time Hood? Small Time Hood. I don't know what that means. Anyway, attempts to put his music career over the top by combining his mind-numbing hypnotic numbers with grand larceny. So, something about that description being on the back of a toy is funny to me. But here we got the rest of the wave there. Spider-Man 2099, which I have reviewed. The Owl, which I have reviewed. Cardiac, which I have reviewed. Obviously, we're going to do Hypno-Hustler now. And I do want this one, so I'll get that. And at that point, not super hyped on that one, but I'll get it at some point. So probably doing the whole wave on this one. But yeah, more legalese baloney there. And let's get him out of the surrounding trash. So this can be a behind the camera ordeal because it just is. Alright, so there's the main part there. We got a piece of tape there for the hands. Piece of tape for his green, I don't know, what is this, smoke? I don't know anything about this character, which is why I was going to pass on him. Tape is so damn cumbersome. Okay, there we go. Is that? Get him out of here. There he is. Get the guitar. And then, oh, I almost forgot the microphone there. All right. So I'm going to go over accessories first. So out of the box, he comes with fists, as you can see. But then he also comes with this hand here, which has a guitar pick. Some crud on it. That hinges up and down. Very nice pink pick there. And then he also comes with a, I guess, a strumming hand, kind of a, you know, I don't know how guitars work necessarily, but there's that, works the same way. And then on the bottom here, as you see, he's got portholes, and I don't know if the gas he lets out is like part of the hypnotizing thing or whatever, but you can plug in these very tiny shooting effects that plug in to his foot there, like this. There you go. There's that, and you also got this smoke-like effect, as if it's cooling down, or if he's like secretly letting out gas. Where does this gas originate from? His ass? I don't know. But there's that, and then he does come with this microphone, which seems kind of small, and I think. So this is kind of awkward. He doesn't really have a hand to hold it. Like, you got this guitar strumming one, but it's so small, it doesn't really, I mean, it's not going to fall through, but it's not in there. I don't even know if I'm on the camera. See? And if you do this. So that's, that's kind of lame. And I don't see, there's nowhere to peg it in. Although there is a very small thing on the tip there. I doubt that's an actual peg. But it does peg in there if you wanted to put his boot up somebody's ass and get some HD audio from the inside. There's that. And then he comes with this guitar, which we've seen before. I don't know how many times. I know it came with Spider-Punk from the Spider-Verse. I'm sure it came with comic book Spider-Punk, but it's a nice sculpt. It's molded in this pink plastic here. There is some silver paint on this. I don't know, is that called a whammy bar? I don't know. The notches there, notches up there, and some stuff here and there. Oh, in the back there as well. Black to the straps here. And I gotta say, I don't know if it's just my copy, but that is not looking like it's holding on so well. I don't want to pull it because it feels like it's turning, but I don't think it's meant to turn. I think it's actually just, yeah, that's not looking good in there. So that's kind of lame. And then, yeah, so, I mean, it's, I am going to do some slight repaint to this guy. I feel like most of it's going to go into the guitar, though. I'm going to paint the guitar strings with silver. Maybe the button right there, silver. Maybe touch up the silver that's already on there. And some of this stuff on the back looks like it should be silver, too. So I'll probably get around to that. Don't need to paint these effects. Don't need to paint these hands. The microphone could probably get a tiny touch up. But here we go with Hypno-Hustler here. As you can see, he is a crazy looking guy. Not a whole lot of paint going on in here. The entirety of the body is molded in this white. I'm assuming the neck is probably a separate piece in there, but that's molded in the skin tone as well as the head. And I'm betting the hair and the goggles are both separate pieces as well. The collar section looks like it's probably a separate piece, but there is painted on metallic bluish silver there. And then there is these things on the shoulders, but that's probably more than likely a separate piece too. And then this overlay for the belt is obviously a separate overlay. So not a whole lot of paint going on. It's really just, is there any paint on the body? Not really. I mean, sorry, other than that, that's painted on the body. And obviously there's they painted the lines in there of black. And then there's some stuff going on, mainly with the the teeth and the lips. And then they painted the swirly twirly on his goggles there, which they did that pretty nice. But other than that, like, there's no shading. I'm gonna have to look up some images online, because as far as customization on him goes, I'm not really sure. I'm thinking repainting that and maybe filling in the lines inside, maybe something there, maybe something with these notches on the belt. But other than that, I mean, the only other thing I could think of, some slight shading with a darker white, almost gray, in the crevices of like the musculature there, but I'm not sure. This might be a very minimal custom paint job. So, but yeah, other than that, he's a muscular guy. Got the collar piece there. He does have some big ass boots, and at first he's kind of looked like, I don't know what Iron Man armor it is, but it looks like, you know, he's got the Mega Man boots. But these are different from that. There's a seam line that follows up from the boot there. And then there is tread on there as well. So, I mean, that's cool. I do like the color scheme. The motif of the purple and a slight bit of blue and a little bit of orangish, reddish yellow going on in the eyes there. So yeah, I'm going to go over articulation now. So I'm going to start on the bottom here because the boots probably are going to be cumbersome. There is a forward-facing tilt for rocker, which isn't going to go anywhere because these boots. Going back, nowhere because of these boots. Going forward, nowhere because of these boots. I mean, it's like minimal movement either which way, so that's not good. But, you know, that's just the character design. I don't know what Hasbro was supposed to do about that, you know? Because sometimes in this instance, like, it's not Hasbro's fault, and it's not necessarily the character design's fault either from the comic book. You know, I don't think, I know they're probably knowing, like, hey, design this to maybe sell toys, but they're just drawing the art for the comic book. So you're just going to run into stuff like that sometimes, unfortunately. So, yeah. Luckily, there is a boot swivel on that big-ass thing. Double jointed pinless knees that go up to there, and as I thought, the damn boot in the way again. Upper thigh cut. Legs go out 90, which is fine. It can go backwards, very minimal. It can go to the side, about there, which is, you know, I guess that's fine. I don't know what body this is, so sorry. There is a hidden waist swivel under the belt there, so that's cool. And then I'm gonna guess this is a very minimal ab crunch. Going back, not a whole lot. Going forward, much further than the back. It does have some clicks in there, so maybe there's some notches in there as well. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll get to that. Anyway, the arms coming out to the shoulders can go up slightly past 90, can go all the way around. Upper bicep swivel, double jointed pinless arms. I think this, now the wrist part of the glove will get in the way. Yeah, I mean, it goes past 90, so that's good. And the hands come out, swivel, hinge up and down. So there's that. Now the head is on a ball and disc hinge, which is awesome. So let's test out the tilt. Slight tilt, not bad. Can look left, right, all the way around. Can look down. Not a whole lot. I'm trying to see what's getting in the way. Or is it just tight? No, I guess it's just, he's got a long jaw and the collar. Probably not much back either. I feel like he's looking up a little bit more. And then I do think, because I just noticed it, the neck itself is on a ball as well too. I don't understand though. Like I appreciate it, but they do certain things in certain areas where I feel like it just doesn't make sense. Because like, yeah, that neck is on a ball joint, but this collar is so wrapped around it. It's like, why even bother? You know, you can kind of get it to whatever, but like, it's not going anywhere. So I just don't understand why in certain instances they'll implement something like this where it doesn't make sense. I just think that's a little bit goofy. But yeah, I guess I can get some accessories going on in here. Here he is with the guitar pick hand. And I mean, you know what? I feel like the microphone would, yeah, the microphone fits better in that hand for sure. Like, it is in there, but it's just kind of goofy because you also have that. And I feel like normally there'd be a stand. Like, I don't ever really see people holding a pick and a microphone like that. But if you really want him to hold the microphone, he can hold it like that, I guess. I'm just gonna take it out for now. And then on the other hand, you get this kind of plucking kind of finger going on. There's that. And like I said, I already put these in. I'm probably not going to use these because they're probably just going to get lost. So, and then here is the guitar. And again, I think my copy is a little bit mangled right there. So I'm not, you know, let's screw it. If it plucks out, I'll just glue it. Yeah, and there you go. There he is with that. And I will say these shoulder scrunchies, they can look like scrunchies. I don't know what they are, but it really helps the strap of the guitar sit in between that and the collar piece. It kind of just gets into that groove and stays there, which is nice. You know, you're not really fighting it all over the place. And I'm sure you could get them in a position where, yeah, see? Holding the neck, and then you get that. I will say though, the pick kind of gets lost in the sea of purple or pink there. But there he is, a crazy guy. I don't know what else to say about him. He's pretty simple. He's simple. He moves around decent enough. I don't know anything about him. He's just a weird release. I doubt we'll ever see this guy again. But I don't know, something about him, man. Look at him. You're gonna tell me this guy isn't fucking cool? Didn't think so. So, do I recommend him? I'd say yeah. You know, it's a Spider-Man villain, and he's definitely one of the more obscure ones. Like I said that the owl was kind of obscure. I'd say this guy's much more obscure. You know, and if you got 2099, you got Cardiac, you got Owl, you got Hypno-Hustler. I mean, you might as well just get the rest of the wave at that point. Like, I'm definitely gonna get Nightcrawler as Spider-Man. I mean, come on. And then Spider-Venom is just a goofy concept to me, but it is a Spider-Man, it is a symbiote. Even if I do think it's goofy and the lamest one of the lame, lamest one of the wave. But I'm definitely gonna get that. And that at that point, man, if I have the whole wave except one, I'm just gonna fold. I'm gonna be a good little consuming bitch and get it. So collector brain, right? Always fun to deal with. But yeah, that is Hypno-Hustler. I recommend him. He's pretty groovy, man. I don't know what else to say. It's just clean. Simple but clean. You know, it gets the job done. He's doing what I thought he was gonna do. And yeah, just kind of, I'd say it's an average release. It's just, like I said, the novelty of them, and you can just have them grooving out behind the rest of the cooler villains. But I'd say, yeah, get them. Why not? So that'll do it. I do have this one coming up in the next one. Feral. Excited for that one. So stay tuned for that one. But in the meantime, let me know in the comments. What do you think of this guy? Have you ever ran into this guy in the comics? I don't know if he's been in any other media. What do you think of this guy? Is he cool? Is he hypnoing you? Is he hustling you? I think he hustled me because I wasn't going to get him. But let me know in the comments. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notification bell. All the fun YouTube jargon. And but most importantly, thank you for clicking. And I will see you on the next one. Peace out.